On November 7, 2024, the United States woke up to a familiar yet shocking reality. Donald J. Trump was once again the president-elect, an event that sent shockwaves throughout the nation. His victory over incumbent Vice President Kamala Harris, while not entirely unexpected, laid bare the deep divisions that continue to split the nation, revealing simmering tensions. Trump, a figure as polarizing as he is captivating, defied historical norms and political odds to recapture the office he had lost 4 years earlier, demonstrating remarkable resilience. His triumph marked an extraordinary comeback and cemented his status as a political force to be reckoned with, a leader capable of mobilizing masses with his rhetoric. The nation, however, remained deeply divided, with celebrations erupting among his fervent supporters, who saw in him a symbol of change, while his detractors grappled with a mix of disbelief and despair, worried about the future of the country. Trump's victory, though decisive in the Electoral College, was less so in the popular vote, highlighting a nation split down the middle. This discrepancy underscored the stark polarization that has come to define American politics, with divisions becoming increasingly entrenched. While Trump energized his base and attracted new voters disillusioned with the status quo, he also galvanized the opposition, particularly among minorities, women, and young people who saw him as a threat. His return to the White House signaled a continuation of the political and cultural battles that raged during his tumultuous time in the spotlight, promising further clashes. The 2024 election was in many ways a referendum on Trump himself, a test of his enduring influence. His supporters viewed him as a strong leader, willing to challenge the establishment and fight for their interests, a champion against the elites. His detractors considered him a threat to democracy, a demagogue who stoked fear and division for personal gain, a danger to democratic values. The election results painted a clear picture, an image of a country on edge. America remained a nation deeply divided, unsure of its future, and struggling to reconcile its past with an uncertain path ahead. The immediacy and reach of social media platforms amplified the nation's raw emotions as news of Trump's victory spread. Reactions were instant and intense, mirroring the country's polarization. Hashtags like #TrumpWinsAgain and #MAGA2. Zero dominated Twitter, accompanied by a torrent of celebratory messages from his supporters. These hashtags became symbols of a victory many thought impossible. Memes, often humorous but sometimes laced with animosity towards his opponents, flooded Facebook feeds. These memes not only entertained but also further polarized public opinion. Trump's own pronouncements on his favored platform, Truth Social, exuded triumphalism, further galvanizing his base. Each post was a rally cry and a celebration. In contrast, platforms like Instagram and TikTok, with their younger and more diverse user base, became outlets for expressions of shock, fear, and anger. The videos and stories reflected a deep sense of loss. The hashtag #NotMyPresident, a familiar refrain from Trump's previous term, resurfaced, reflecting the profound opposition he continued to elicit. This slogan became a rallying cry for many. Many users shared messages of despondency, questioning the country's future and expressing concern for the potential rollback of social progress made during the Harris administration. The anxieties were palpable and widespread. Social media, meant to connect people, instead served as a stark reminder of the chasm separating Americans. Each post seemed to dig the trench deeper. The digital landscape mirrored the real world, revealing a nation struggling to find common ground in the wake of a divisive election. The divisions were evident and painful. The echo chambers of online platforms, while providing outlets for expression, also risked further reinforcing existing biases and hindering meaningful dialogue. The possibility of constructive engagement seemed increasingly remote. In an address from her hometown of Oakland, California, Kamala Harris conceded the election to Donald Trump. Her words, while acknowledging the disappointment of her supporters, emphasized the importance of national unity and respect for the democratic process. She urged Americans to come together despite their political differences, to address the challenges facing the nation. Harris struck a conciliatory tone, urging her supporters to accept the outcome of the election and avoid bitterness or recrimination. She emphasized the peaceful transition of power as a cornerstone of American democracy, a tradition that transcends partisan divides. Her call for unity, while perhaps aspirational in the face of such polarization, served as a necessary counterpoint to the divisive rhetoric that had permeated the campaign. Despite the loss, Harris's concession speech cemented her image as a stateswoman and a role model for aspiring female politicians. Her grace under pressure and unwavering commitment to democratic principles earned her the respect of many Americans, regardless of their political affiliation. The 2024 presidential election pitted two starkly different visions of America against each other, each with a distinct idea of what it means to be American. Donald Trump, running on a platform of economic nationalism, immigration restriction, and a return to law and order, appealed to voters who felt left behind by globalization and disillusioned by what they perceived as societal decline. He spoke directly to the anxieties of those who felt forgotten. He promised to restore American greatness, a nebulous concept rooted in nostalgia and a yearning for a bygone era, a time perceived as simpler and more prosperous. Kamala Harris, in contrast, presented a more optimistic and inclusive vision for the future, seeking to unite the country around an idea of shared progress. She campaigned on a platform of social justice, economic equality, and environmental protection, seeking to address systemic inequalities. She advocated for strengthening the social safety net, ensuring that no one is left behind, for investments in education and infrastructure, seeing them as crucial foundations for a prosperous future, and for addressing the climate crisis with urgency, promoting renewable energy and sustainable policies. Her message resonated with young voters, minorities, and urban dwellers who value diversity, progress, and a more interconnected world, hoping for positive change. The campaign laid bare the deep ideological divisions that have come to characterize American politics, showcasing the contrasting visions. Trump tapped into a vein of resentment and anxiety present within his base, stoking feelings of frustration and anger. While Harris sought to build a broader coalition around shared values of empathy, equality, and progress, seeking to unite diverse communities, the election results revealed a nation grappling with fundamental questions about its identity, its values, and its place in the world, leaving many to ponder the future of America. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to check out our other content for more news and analysis. Thanks for watching.